Hi, everybody. I'm Joshua Spisman, and I'm here with David Offenberg. As usual, we're both associate professors of finance here at Loyola Marymount University. David, it's March Madness continuing. It was a great first weekend, and I'm still, really in that sports mode. And I know you have had some experience with NBA Top Shot, so I'm hoping that you could sort of explain a little bit to us what that is, and also to me personally, what exactly is going on.
Sure, I'd love to. NBA Top Shot is what we're excited to call NFTs, non-fungible tokens. But before I can get to what an NBA Top Shot is, we first have to do fungible versus non-fungible, right?
Yes.
So fungible means that one is exactly like the other. These $20 bills are fungible. You don't care whether you have this one or whether you have this one. They are the same thing, and they spend the same, and they feel the same, and they look the same. They're fungible. This is non-fungible. This is the most valuable baseball card to ever sell, this Mickey Mantle card. And it's non-fungible because it's not exactly the same as another from the same series. Maybe the other one has a bent corner, or it smells like smoke. Maybe this one was owned at one point by Mickey Mantle's nephew. So they are non-fungible. They're not the same thing. The NBA is selling non-fungible tokens. And I want to show you what one looks like, because they are just video clips. It's video clips that you could watch on YouTube. Here's one. Zion Williamson block from January 24th, 2020. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Into the stands. And it's just this video clip that you could watch anywhere. And yet, like the Mickey Mantle behind me, which has zero value, this clip on its own has pretty much zero value. But if you own one of these NBA non-fungible tokens, you can see it's worth $55,000, $175,000. And the thing that makes them non-fungible is that they all have a unique serial number. So today you could buy serial number 46 or serial number 16 or serial number 42. Lower serial numbers tend to be more valuable. If you have the serial number that matches the player's jersey number, that makes it even more valuable.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I decided to trade, or to try to buy one of these, just to see what the hubbub is. And I'll show you this.
Did you make $55,000?
Well, I made a shockingly good return.
All right.
Way better than I expected. I bought this pack in the past week for $9. The day that I bought it for $9, it was worth $240.
Wow, that's awesome.
Which
was like 25 times your investment.
Yeah. And so the NBA, if you think about it from the NBA's perspective, you think, why the heck is the NBA underpricing these things so much? Why are they leaving so much money on the table? And I have a hypothesis here. My hypothesis is that the NBA is trying to create a perception of exclusivity. What that means is, if you think about a line at a nightclub, the line at the nightclub gives you the impression that that nightclub is a super cool place. Even with it being cold outside, people still are standing in line at that nightclub to try to get in. The NBA is doing the same thing. Look at this. You're going to see these on Twitter if you start looking for them. This is what happens every time the NBA releases one of these packs. There's a huge line, and they're only issuing so many. This person is number 159,000 in line, and there are only 3,500 packs remaining. They're never going to get to buy one.
Right.
I got incredibly lucky being able to buy that $9 pack that was worth $240. And so effectively what's happening in my mind is that the NBA is using this perception of exclusivity to offset marketing cost, because they could spend 50 million, maybe $100 million to get this market up and running and get people to believe that there's real reason to be trading these. But they could also use word of mouth. They could use Twitter. They could use stuff like this. Me telling people, I got it for $9 and it's worth $240.
Right.
And I think that's why the NBA is leaving money on the table. But I get the sense you have a different hypothesis.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense to me. And but this just really triggered me to think about how in finance we have the IPO market, and we have a lot of similar behavior in the IPO market with underpricing. And what underpricing is, as you said, in your case, you bought something for $9 that was worth $240. With IPO underpricing, you purchase into a company going public for the first time, it's IPO. But on the first day of trading, the stock price jumps. And so you have this immediate return. And there's some really great data, and we'll link to it in the comment section from Professor Jay Ritter. And he shows you what the underpricing looks like. And basically from 1980 to 2020, the companies are leaving about 20% on the table, but some companies leave a lot more on the table. So Airbnb, for example, when they went public relatively recently, their stock price jumped 112% on the first day. So that was a huge underpricing. Airbnb basically, left twice as much as what they sold for on the table, which is similar to what the NBA is doing here. But I was thinking about what Top Shot's doing, and I have to admit I looked up a little bit beforehand. And one of the cool things about Top Shot, and from the business model perspective, is they are taking a 5% fee on transactions. And so for that $9, they got 5%. But then when that Zion Williamson card sold for $55,000, they took 5% of that. Every single transaction, they're taking 5%. It's unbelievable. And that's what's different, in my view, from the IPO market, because in the IPO market, it's a one-time transaction. So, basically the company goes public, an investment bank gets paid, the company gets paid. And then when you and I buy stock in the secondary market, the company is not getting any of that money. We're just helping to set the price. But here in the Top Shot market, every single transaction. So in some sense, I actually think they have an incentive to underprice, because when they underprice, and exactly what you said, you create that exclusivity. The stock, there's 25 times, return on your investment. When you sold it for $240, though, guess what? They took another 5%. And when the person after you sells it for $500, they take another 5%. They just keep collecting that 5%. It's really, really interesting sort of market dynamics at play. And it's like finance applying to sports and collectibles. It's just, I'm so excited.
I am too. Finance, economics, sports, it's all here. And blockchain. It's all on blockchain.
Wow.
If we do better than this semester, I'll be impressed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is the top.
With that, have a good weekend, Josh.
Yeah, you too.